beautiful souls. Welcome back to Divine Decode, where wisdom is not just shared, it's felt. Where we meet not just minds, but hearts. I'm your host, Pragya Malvia, and this is your space to pause, reflect, and reconnect with what truly matters. Today is so special because this episode is for the ones building something big, but also longing for something deep, the dreamers, the doers, there has to be more seekers. I'm joined by the incredible Jamaul Ford, known by many as Jamaul D Maven. He's a conscious entrepreneur, a soulful leader, and someone who is not just building brands, he's building legacy, alignment, and community. His path blends strategy and spirituality, and if you have ever felt like you had to choose between ambition and inner peace, this conversation might just change that for you. Thank you so much for being here, Jamal.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to be able to share.
Yes, I'm actually so genuinely happy to have you here because journey it literally feels like this beautifully lived balance between outer success and the inner truth that people usually struggle to find. So was there a moment or maybe a phase in your life that pulled you inward or that sparked your spiritual journey alongside the business one?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there was a certain moment. I will say that my life has been that as a whole. My dad is a pastor, and so I've grown up in just in my religion and in my belief. And my mom is an entrepreneur, so I'm a second generation entrepreneur. So my whole life has been an integration of like ministry and service to people, but then also
Mm-hmm.
connecting that also with entrepreneurship and understanding that entrepreneurship is also servicing people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you mentioned that, your mom was there and you being the second generation entrepreneur, that must have carried a certain weight, right? Or did it shape how you define success, purpose, or even leadership in your life?
Yeah. So, I mean, the pressure was never really there. Like they always wanted me to be my very best. So they always pushed me to be like, hey, Jamal, you can do this, you can accomplish whatever you want. And they always like push me towards, my religion and, reading and things like that to have a better understanding of what my bigger purpose was in life. And that, whatever I decided to do would be what's best for me as long as I was kind of following the path that was laid out for me. So yeah.
That's amazing. Um, that is also such a rare combination, right? Like you're honoring when you come home, like you just you come from but also daring to create something entirely new, right? That is so powerful. And one thing that I really admire is how you lead with empathy, right? Not just drive. In a world that is constantly shouting, scale fast, how do you stay spiritually grounded while still growing that vision that demands real hustle?
Yeah, so I try my best to. I think people in interaction with people and in spirituality, I think that's a really big thing. Like understanding our interactions with others, like relationships, right? And building on relationships and making sure that we're cultivating those as, in a way that we're taught that whether it be business or whether it be everyday life, I think it's important to be understand and kind of see it from that perspective and be able to in business actually be able to help them from where they're coming from. I think that it's very hard to sustain a business without having true empathy at some point for others in the business. While a business can scale and grow and have even bigger success, I think the people are still what makes a business grow. And I think that in all spiritual walks that we work on ourselves individually to be able to interact with others better, if that makes sense.
That actually makes sense, and I actually agree with you on it. And also, there are times when life it gets noisy or it just is too heavy on us. So, what brings you back to yourself? Do you have any rituals, or like, is it more of a mindset shift, or do you practice any rituals?
Yeah, this is a great question. This is like an amazing question. So even recently, I was kind of going through what we call like a rut, where people would be like, "Yeah, I'm going through difficult times emotionally or mentally." But for me, I believe that discipline is built off of habits and being consistent. And for me, I always try my best to have a lot of small rituals or a lot of small things that stack up to be habits. And the more habits you have that are positive, those things are now become normal disciplines in your life. So for me, I walk roughly about 15 miles a day. And that's roughly about a little bit over 30,000 steps. It takes me like 4 hours to walk. But I probably walk this very early. I walk like from 5 in the morning to like maybe 8 or 9 in the morning. And during this walk, I like do a lot of prayer. I do a lot of mindfulness meditation. I do a lot of listening to positive affirmations. I listen to a lot of positive podcasts, and I try to set my mindset in a positive place. And that is the one thing that I can consistently show up and do every day. One thing that I recently learned was maybe 1% of people in the world walk 10 miles a day. So what does that mean for me? Because I walk about 15 miles a day, it lets me know that I'm in the top 1% of people in the world that is really, really good at walking, right? Because it means that I'm trying to master something. So it helps me go throughout my day to start the day off at being the best at something, if that makes sense. And so that ritual of walking not only allows me to get my mental clarity and get myself grounded into what I have to do the rest of the day, but it also lets me know that, hey, when you look at the stats, I've just done something that maybe only 1% of people in the world will actually do today. And that is really big for me to continue on throughout the day to have success.
That's really great, and that is such a great thing to do, right? And 50 miles, it's literally it's just great, you that ritual is so great. I really love that. Also, entrepreneurship, it can be so raw, right? It holds a mirror literally up to us. What would you say is the biggest spiritual lesson that this path has taught you about yourself?
I think that what I've learned about myself is that life life kind of has highs and lows, and you can't let those highs and lows of life affect what you're going to do or your spiritual walk or your journey or anything like that. You have to understand that there always will be highs and lows, but at the end of the day, as long as you stay on your path and on your journey, then it's always going to wind up being what it needs to be in the end.
That's right. And how do we stop resisting those lessons, right? Especially when they show up as a failure, loss, or uncertainty. The biggest lessons that you know, we just resist all of those things. So how can we just stop resisting those lessons?
Yeah, so I think that one thing you said was appearing as failure. I really believe in life. The only failure is not trying, is not putting yourself out there to try to become better. Many times we're going to make mistakes in life. Life is not, you're never going to live necessarily a perfect life. You're going to have things that you're not going to be good at, things you may fall off your spiritual walk. Yeah, so I believe that the way you look at failure makes you have a full understanding of what lesson you should learn. I only see failure as not trying, like not attempting to become better at something or not even attempting something. Many times in life, we're going to fail. We're not always going to have success. Many times we're going to fall off of our spiritual journey. Many times we're not always going to be right. But the thing is to get back up and try again and continue on the path that's designed for you. That's really, really important. But to true failure only is not trying at all or not getting back up and continuing on your path. So I believe that and failure is also internal. It's a feeling that only you can have. Like external failure are people telling you that you failed is not really failure until you internalize that feeling and make it real. No one else can tell you whether you failed or not except for yourself. Maybe you learn what not to do, but that doesn't make it failure. Maybe there's some part of what you did that you can take and put it towards something else and now have success. So I think failure is an internal feeling, and we can't let exterior things become internalized by us to mark them as being failures. So I hope that answers your question.
That's right. That is such a great, insight on how can we, just stop resisting those things. Also, you have built teams and communities that are alive with connection, trust, and wellness that you have. So, how does this soul-centered leadership, or how does that soul-centered leadership change the energy of a space or a team that we have?
Yeah, I think that it changes just from the standpoint of making sure that you're doing it with the idea of helping people. Like when you're in the community, no matter whether you're starting a community online or doing community outreach or just interacting with people, having the right heart and having the right intentions when you're doing it really goes a long way in regards to you having success. And I think it's also important for how you frame success because you know, even in entrepreneurship, so many times people see money as success. But me, like if I said to myself, I help 10 people, or I help 20 people, or I help 30 people, then I can't say I didn't have success because to those 30 people, I may have changed their lives. And that's super important. And it goes back to the previous question, you know, making sure that we're doing it for the right reasons and that we're genuinely out to help people in our walks. And I think that goes a long way in those pursuits.
That's right. That's right. Also, what is that one thing that you think many leaders they miss when they are trying to create that kind of deeper human connection? What do they miss that they, just don't make it up till there?
I think what a lot of people miss when they're trying to have human interaction is that they're not present. They're not in the moment. Many times people are, when they're talking to people, whether it's people they know or potential clients or in any walk, they're thinking about things that happened in the past or things that will happen in the future. And they're not 100% present in that moment to have a very deep interaction and a very deep conversation with that person because when you're present, when you're in the moment, you can maybe not only hear what a person's saying, but also feel where they're coming from when they're communicating with you. And I think that a lot of people miss that because they're trying so hard to get their point across and they're not really truly listening and being present in the moment in the interaction and letting the interaction happen organically without the need of having what outcome they believe should happen be at the forefront of the conversation. I believe a lot of people should practice being more present and being more engaged in interactions and communication in order to have more success.
That is so true. Also, because I totally agree with you actually, and because business it is not just data, right? Also the energy exchange that we do, and people really feel it, right? You also agree to it that people, they just feel that energy. If that is real, they just stay, they grow, and they also believe in it.
Agree, because people know being genuine and honest, and you're really there to help them, or you're there for your own personal gains. And so I think that showing up authentically in interactions is very important, and it goes hand in hand with your spiritual journey, to know that you're walking on the path that you should be walking on, and not just doing something because society or other people told you to do it. I think when you're aligned and you're on your walk and you're on your spiritual journey, when you're having interactions with other people, you'll know, people will feel that you're coming from a genuine place in those communications and interactions.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. All right. Also, there is somebody out there listening to us right now, and maybe they feel lost or burnt out or unsure if they're even on the right path, right? There are times that all of us go through these stages. So, what would you like to say to them? What is that one thing that you would like to share with them to, make them feel that yes, this is the right time. They just need to start on with their journey.
Yeah, I want to tell people that it's okay to be discouraged. It's okay to not feel your best. It's okay to have setbacks. The most important thing you can do in your life is find something that you can be relentlessly consistent at, like something that no matter what happens, you know for a fact that you can be consistent at it. It may be prayer, it may be walking like it is for me, it may be something, but you want to do something extremely consistent. And it might be something very, very small, but it will be the foundation for you building something even bigger. So, whenever you're having trouble or you're doubting yourself and your routine is off and you're really struggling, always allow that one thing to be your center. For me, is walking. So, when I'm feeling out of place or like lost, my walking always brings me back to center, because it is a ritual that allows me to always build confidence, build foundation, build oneness, build mindfulness, and practice my spirituality, to where no matter what happens during the day, I know I did that one thing to allow me to have success the rest of the day. So find something that you can be relentlessly consistent at, and let that be your foundation for growing the way you want to grow in life.
Mm-hmm. That is actually very great. And I hope that they find this and they, actually take it because that is so insightful. Jamal, thank you so much for showing up so honestly, also for reminding us that a purpose, it isn't just a destination, it's a way of being. You have given us more than insight today, and I'm so grateful that we did this, and you've given us that permission to slow down and realign with our lives. Also, to everyone listening out there, your path, it does not have to make sense to the world. It only needs to feel true to you. So, whether you're rebuilding, rising, resting, or remembering, stay close to your soul and listen to what Jamal has said. This is Pragya signing off with love, light, and a quiet knowing that you're right on time. Until next time, keep decoding your divine.